Hello, my name is Kel, welcome to Snapshot 15w31a. I know this is like a week late, but I wanted to do the video anyway. Hope you enjoy. If you want to know how to download the snapshot, the link is down in the description below. So let's get started. The first thing in this snapshot which has been added is updates to the end. There is now a new section of the end which I'll get to later, but first, the pillars are now arranged in a certain amount of order, and as you can see there's iron bars around on top of some of the pillars. The dragon now fires fireballs at you, and the spawn for the egg is already naturally spawned in before the dragon is killed. Once the dragon is killed, as you can see here, pretty cool effects, and there we go. The egg appears and a beacon will appear somewhere on the map which you can fly over to, well, you can go over to in survival, and you'll need to have a ender pearl. Now, you can fire an ender pearl into this. It's like the end portal, sorry. And you can fire an ender pearl into that, and depending on the direction you fire it in, that's the direction it will send you into the end. So, if I fire it that way, fires in, and it takes me to this new section of the end. By respawning the dragon, which is not yet implemented into the game yet, you can create up to 20 of these portals using the ender pearls. As you can see, there's now these tree-like cactus type of plants, which can be destroyed at the base, and everything will fall down, such as like cactus. So, these are called chorus, and they have flowers on them, or fruit. Now, you can handpick these, but if you don't pick them before destroying the base, then you won't get the fruit. They have a very useful use, and I will get to that in a bit. As you can see, the new section of the end has lots of islands, with big donut-shaped ones and small ones around. You can also find the new End City, which is a new dungeon structure slash kind of treehouse thingy made of end stone brick, and this new Purpur stone, which can be crafted into pillar and stairs and slabs, as you would expect them to. Inside these new structures, you will find the new hostile mob called the Shulker, short for Shell Lurker. It hides inside blocks and is very hard to kill. It shoots out these projectiles, which will put this new effect on you, levitation potion, which will cause you to fly upwards until it wears off, which can be very dangerous because you can land down and fall to your death. Projectiles that it shoots out can only move on the X, Y and Z axis, and you can walk on the Shulker, but when you hit it, it can teleport away. Something else you will find around the end city is the end rod, which gives out white light and end particles, and can be placed vertically or horizontally. So here are the Purpur blocks I was just talking about, which create most of the end city. You can get slab, stair and pillar variant and the brick one. To get the Purpur block, you need to smelt the chorus plant down there on the surface, and it will give you popped chorus, which will then create into 4, and it will give you the chorus block. This is end stone brick, which can be made from just end stone in a 4, as you would expect, as I'm showing you here, and that gives you 4, which looks quite nice actually. I could see some cool stuff being made with that. Okay, so I was going to tell you what the chorus fruit can be used for. As well as just eating and feeding you, it can wear off it doesn't wear off, it teleports you away from the levitation effect, basically. So if you're floating up and you're about to die, you can eat it and it will teleport you down to the surface, and then you'll start floating up again and you need to eat it again, which is, it's quite cool actually, because if you think about it, like Endermen teleport around all the place, so it kind of makes you think like they're just like scoffing their gobs with this chorus fruit all the time. So as you can see up here, I've landed on the tree and I need to get down to the surface. I can eat the chorus and it'll teleport me back. Well, yeah, okay, it's teleported me onto the nearest surface, maybe not the ground. Okay, so one last thing before we finish up in the end and move on to the other stuff is the dragon head, which has been added into the creative menu. It can be placed, and when powered by resonance, that's the lever I showed you, it can make the mouse move. You can also wear it on your head, which looks pretty awesome. Look at that. Look, it's amazing. Inside the structures, you will find loot, including iron gear and other stuff, which I'll show you in a second. You can also find these new floating ships which have beacons which will give you speed effect. They're pretty cool actually, and inside them you will find a brewing stand with health potion inside and some pretty sweet loot, including diamond gear, enchanted, and all sorts of iron gear, gold, and beetroot seeds. Okay, so another thing that's been added is beetroot. It is grown just like you would normally expect, such as with regular crops such as carrots, wheat, and potatoes. It spawns naturally in villages and, like I just said, in the ships in the end. It can be crafted into beetroot soup using a bowl and 6 beetroot, placing the bowl in the bottom middle space of the crafting table and 6 beetroot in the top spaces. Another use for the beetroot is making red dye. Okay, so apart from the complete revamp of the end, a new feature for the combat update is dual wielding. So as you can see here, maps no longer need to be held by basically 2 hands, and you can use a sword in your right hand and have the map displaying in the left hand. Or you can go to the settings and switch your dominant hand around so you have the sword in the left hand and the map in the right hand. To switch between items in different hands, you can press the F key, or you can open up your inventory and there's this new slot for your left hand or right hand depending on what your dominant hand is set to. Only your main hand can be used for attacking, so for example if I have 2 swords like this here, then I can only use whatever one is set to my main hand be, so left or right. This doesn't make a lot of sense, but even while you have something in your other hand you can still use bows, which is kind of cool, but it doesn't make much sense. A nice addition to bows and fishing rods is in the hotbar. When you are actually using the item, it will change the icon in the hotbar for when you are firing or when you are not, which is a nice feature. Another feature is when you have arrows in your new left hand for dual wielding, it will automatically take the arrows from that one rather than ones from the rest of your infantry. Something new for arrows has been added where you can now tip arrows with a potion. So for example we have invisibility, which we'll use right here on our test subject. So fire the potion of invisibility and it on impact will turn the skeleton invisible, which is quite cool, as you can see here. And there's also the new Spectral arrow, which doesn't hurt mobs, but, or maybe not even mobs, just other players, which also works while the other player is invisible. You can see them like this even when you're underground, and it gives them a nice outline. Skeletons will now draw their bow when they're angry and also pull it back to fire the arrow. Map makers can make skeletons shoot potions with tipped arrows as well. Death messages will now show up on the death screen rather than just in the chat. The pathway blocks from Pocket Edition have now been added. By right clicking on grass, it will give you this new pathway. It's not obtainable by using Silk Touch and will still give you dirt. As you saw me using in the end, ender pearls are now usable in creative. For whatever reason, the broadcast settings and the super secret settings have been removed from the options menu. Hopefully they'll be back soon because I kind of like them being there. Endermen can now drop the block they're holding when you kill them. The nether fog has been removed from the nether. Trapdoors no longer require supporting blocks. Some zombies will now spawn left-handed. The status effect HUD displays status effect icons ordered by time. Positive effects are on the top row, negative effects are on the bottom row. Effects that are about to run out blink faster when closer to running out. Dead bushes can now drop sticks when broken. So that's going to be very handy in the desert, isn't it? Okay, thank you for watching this snapshot. I hope you found it at least slightly helpful. It is a week late, but hopefully some people will find some stuff out they didn't know. And I enjoyed making this video. Another one is coming out like right now, and I have a video on how to install snapshots, which is development builds of Minecraft. If you didn't know, probably should have said that at the start of the video. Thanks for watching, stay awesome, stay cool, and stay hider.